Hi everyone, I'm Brandon. Welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing my May TBR. I have a total of 9 books on my TBR, and I know full well I won't get to all 9, but it's kind of a goal I would like to do, is get to majority of them at least. I'm a mood reader, so I often don't stick with one book for a long time. Like, I'll finish a book, but if I'm not feeling it, I'll just move on. And that's the same with my TBR. If I'm not feeling the books that are on my TBR, I just like, nah, I'll read a different book. So I know I'll probably end up doing that in May, and I hope that I won't, but I probably will. So we'll see what happens. The first book that I want to read in May is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I already started reading this. I'm like 50 pages in, and it's April 28th, so I have 2 days left of the month. And I don't think I'm going to finish this by the end of April. I hope to, but I doubt it. So this is going to be on my May TBR, because the next book that I'd like to read in May is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I've read this book twice before, but I've only ever read the first 2 books in this series, and I want to keep going with it. I recently bought City of Glass so I could read that next, even though that's the 3rd book. But after I read City of Ashes, I'd like to read City of Glass. But I started a reread of this book this month, and I'm about 250 pages in, I believe. Yeah, 250 pages or so in. I'd like, again, to finish this before April ends, but I doubt I will. So this is going to be on my May TBR to finish it. And the next book that I would like to read in May is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. I absolutely adore A Darker Shade of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows. I tried to read this back in, I think, December, because I think I read A Gathering of Shadows in November, but I just wasn't in the mood to read it, so I stopped. I'm 20 pages in and I stopped. I do that a lot, which is really bad, but I just wasn't feeling it at that moment. So I'm hoping I can get to this in May and finish the series, because I really love this series. I love the characters. I love the writing style. Like, for me, I just fly through these books. So even though this book is like 600 pages, I know I'll be able to fly through it because it's so fast paced and fun. And I really want to know what happens. So hopefully I can read this in May. If not, I'll push it to June. The next book that I'd like to get to in May is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This book has been on my TBR for a little bit. I just haven't gotten around to it, so I'm hoping to be able to get to it. That's a lot of get-tos, but yeah, I want to read it. The next book that I'd like to read is Fierce Fairy Tales by Nikita Gill. This is a poetry book. My sister just read this book and she really enjoyed it, so and I've been wanting to read more poetry and see more of that genre, because the only poetry I've read is by Amanda Lovelace. I think the book is really pretty, and because my sister really enjoyed it, I think I'll enjoy it, so that's why it's on my TBR. Next book that I'd like to get to is also a poetry book, and it's the last book in a series. I don't know what the series is called, but it's the series by Amanda Lovelace. This book is The Mermaid's Voice Returns in this one. Basically about female empowerment. There are a lot of trigger warnings in this, so if you're interested in reading them, I would look at that beforehand, because it does talk about really difficult subjects. But if you are willing to read about that stuff and would like to read about that, I highly recommend these books. They're so good. That's why I really want to get to the 3rd book so I can finish the series. I absolutely adore her poems. I like that they're so, for me, they're different from any other type of poetry I've read. And that's what I really like. And I especially like that it's female empowerment, because women are so badass. So I just really like these books. The next book is also a book that I started in April and would like to finish in May. I doubt I'll finish this book in April, so that's why it's on my May TBR. But that's The Last of August by Brittany Cavallero. This is the 2nd book in the Charlotte Holmes series. Like 30 pages in. Again, I just start books and just stop them willy-nilly. It's not good. But I would like to finish this because I want to keep moving on with the series, because I did really enjoy the 1st book. I thought it was a fun time, so I'd like to read more, and I really like the characters. This is on my May TBR, if I don't finish it in April. The second to last book that I'd like to read in May is Warcross by Marie Lu. I don't know much about this book. The booktuber This Story Ain't Over, Jenanine, she really adores Marie Lu and loves her books, and she recently recommended this in a video. I'm pretty sure she like posted it yesterday. So I've been wanting to get to this book because she just talks so highly of Marie Lu that I'd like to read some of her books. The last book that I'd like to read in May is All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. I was trying not to add this to my May TBR because I want to try and get to some of the books I have on my TBR that are a lot older, because I just recently bought this. But this book, like, every time I see it on myself, my shelf. Every time I see it on my shelf, I'm just drawn to it and I just want to pick it up. So I would like to read it in May and see what it's all about. It's very popular on like Bookstagram and everything like that, and I've heard good things. So hopefully I will enjoy it just as much as everyone else and it lives up to the hype. Those are all the books that I'd like to get to in May. Like I said, I probably won't read all of them, and I probably will read books that weren't on my TBR to begin with, but that's okay. Those are the books that I would like to get to. That's my goal. But thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what your May TBR is if you created a May TBR. If you haven't, maybe just comment some books that you'd like to read soon.